known Ivory for what, like 20 years?
Yeah.
Long time. We both changed a lot since then. I got a lot older and you didn't, right?
Right. 127.
And so, you know, I was trying to think of what to say about Ivory, and there's a lot I could say. But the one thing I remember, Ivory, very early on when we got to know each other, we went to a meeting with Bobby. You guys know who Bobby Gore is?
Yeah.
Bobby Gore was the spokesman of the Vice Lords in the 60s when they transformed from being a street gang into being a pro-social, pro-community force. And he was the inspiration, the changes that, remember we learned in this class, gangs aren't one thing, right? The Vice Lord became something very different by the end of the 60s. And we were going to, we went to a meeting on the south side somewhere, Sunny South Station. And so after it was done, Bobby was there and a bunch of people were talking about how to bring the lessons of the 60s to people today. I asked Ivory to give me a ride back to the train station, so I go back to Milwaukee. And I don't know if you remember what you said to me then, but you said, I want to walk in Bobby Gore's footsteps. And that just, yeah, that just struck me right to the core, because this is the example of trying to take something that was very negative and make it very positive. And you know, there's Ivory's life is like that, moving from negative to positive, and a struggle, like all of us, of trying to figure out the right path. And Ivory's tried to take it. So rather than me say any more, why don't you talk? And you guys have to have questions, right? Right. So why don't you go ahead and start? And you guys feel free to break in and ask questions.
All right. Anybody got any questions before I get started? Anything? Anything y'all want to know? Why? How? Nothing? All right. I was a youth growing up in Rockwell Gardens. That's a housing complex. And growing up over there in the Rockwell Gardens, I didn't know that I had leadership skills. You know, ordinary bum, young kid growing up, having fun, playing. But growing up over there, I experienced a lot of things. Number one, bikes being taken, bullies in the project, you know, the ordinary things that they do like in society. So as I was growing up, my big brother really wasn't a big brother. He wasn't a stand-up guy. He didn't take up for me. So I had to get out there, really learn how to take up for myself. So I started hanging with guys a little older than me. And what we used to do, we used to go downtown. I used to get on the back of their bikes, and we used to go downtown. Probably, I don't know what's the university up, but I guess it was. Well, we'll ride around, and, you know, we have our little lot cutters. We'll start off stealing bikes and robbing the freight trains. I don't know if y'all know about the freight train, but we used to rob the freight train. So that's how I really started off. I started smoking weed, doing a little drinking. It escalated, but then I started getting into power. So I don't know if y'all know it or not, or have John ever showed y'all a few of my videos or my leadership where I come from. I got into power where I was a leader of the organization. So by me being a leader of the organization, instead of me taking whoopings, I started being the ones to say who get the whoopings. Y'all understand what I'm trying to say? So I don't want to too highly, how shall I say this, John? I don't want to put all the thing on me like I was this notorious guy, because I wasn't. So
I showed him your picture from the gang book. So
oh, that's the old picture. If y'all saw that picture, don't pay attention, no attention. But a couple of years ago, as I grew up, and as y'all know a little bit about my history about being in the gangs, I started to like turn my life around, because I was like fed up with the system. Going in and out the penitentiary, I had no leadership. All the leaders was going to jail, so I had to come up with new rules. I had to make the rules. I had to be a lot of people friends that I really didn't want to be their friend, but I had to be their friends because of the narcotics that was coming in the community. I don't even know should I be telling y'all that, but here we go with it. The narcotics that was coming in the community, I had to have my hands in it. So, should I just?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I had to have my hands into the narcotics. And having my hands into the narcotics, I had to say who get it and who don't get it. So that caused me to do a lot of robberies and other things. I'm gonna bring y'all up to date. A couple of years ago, about a year or two ago, I had got this job about 5, maybe 10 years ago. So I worked with this company called Eastlake. This all turning my life around. Because y'all don't want to hear the bad stuff. Everybody done did a little bad in their life, right? Well, with me, I call myself turning my life around, trying to do it another way. So I started working for this company called Eastlake. And I became a janitor. Now, as I became a janitor, I learned how to accept people for who they are. Not want nothing from people, not trying to demand nothing from people. Because once you become a certain person, your skill that you develop and growing up into the society, you start demanding more from people. You know, like you got some friend, you might like them, they might be cool, but you might want more out of them. Like, man, you can do this better or you can do that better. So I'm that type of guy. If I think you can do better, I'm going to tell you can do better. If you can't do better, I'm going to be like, man, come on now, you can't do that. That's how it is. Like in the classroom, when y'all interact with people, y'all know who can do better, who can't do better. Y'all expect more out of a certain person. You know, y'all expect more. With me, that's how it was. So I'm telling you this story to tell you, I went to work for this company, and I was doing good. But the company still had me with my ways, because you can't really change who you is. I'm going to explain it. I'm the type of guy as, I'm still rugged, and I still live a rugged life. Even though I changed, it still is inside of me. So everywhere I go, I take myself with me. What I mean by that, I had an incident where I walked to my building. I had to be at work at 5 o'clock in the morning. And one morning, I was going to one of my buildings to clean up because I'm a janitor / maintenance man. And one morning, I was going to one of my buildings, and I approached the building, and I see this gentleman peeing on the outside of the building. So I approached the gentleman in a nice way. I said, man, why you peeing out here at this building, man? He said, man, who the hell is you? I said, I'm the janitor. He said, well, get it up then. Me not thinking, I was like, man, what you mean get it up, man? You should not be peeing out here. He like, man, I can pee anywhere I want to pee. So we had a verbal conversation. I walked away, went inside my building. We had a security, but he was not armed. He was unarmed. The gentleman waited for a while. I went in, I told the security, well, you know, I got this gentleman out here, and I just told the gentleman he peeing in the back of the building. He told me peeing the way he want to pee for me to get it up. I told him he got to be crazy. He should not be peeing out here. Make a long story short, I went in, I got my broom, dustpan, I went to clean it up. Well, this gentleman left. I didn't know I had teed him off that bad. Well, he came back with a loaded gun, and he had it in his pocket. And he approached me, but when he approached me, I seen him coming through the corner of my eye because I was cleaning up and I had my back to him. Now, I don't know what y'all call it, instincts, or I called it growing up, living that lifestyle. It made me recognize him, and I caught him through the corner of my eye, and he came in, he stood up, and I didn't know what to do. It was one way in and one way out. So I told the gentleman, I said, man, look, you can't be in here. I said, this don't open up until 8 o'clock. Now, I come in at 5. So I got up out that room on him. And when I got up out that room on him, I went back to the security desk to tell the security that this guy was in there. Now, I didn't know who he was because he had this hood on his head. He had it tied tight. I couldn't see nothing but like the middle of his face. So I got up out of there on him. But when I went to the security desk, security wasn't there no more. He was gone. This guy came out. He walked with his hands in his pocket. I'm scared to run, honestly. Out of everything that I've been through, I was scared to run because I was scared he was going to shoot me in my back. So I stood and I started sweeping the floor. Where the elevator door opened up and this lady got off. So I spoke to her trying to show him I'm a lucky go guy. Like, hey, good morning. You know how we be. Good morning. Trying to be all nice. He wasn't buying it. So he proceeded to leave behind the lady. Now, in my mind, I thought he was gone. But he came back. And when he came back, I had my back to him once again. And he started firing shots. But in my mind, I thought I heard footsteps of him running up on me. And I turned. And when I turned, he hit me. And when he hit me, I was faced with going down or fighting for my life. eventually, I'm here today. Now, it's nothing to brag on because I killed him. He shot me, though. Right now, my leg messed up. I have nerve damage. I suffer with post-traumatic stress. I have nightmares. But it was an event that we wrestled. I fought him for about, I want to say about 20, 30 minutes, but at the time I didn't know. And I managed to take his gun. I managed to shoot him in the head with his own gun. I managed to wake up because he hit a nerve. And when he nicked the nerve, I passed out, and when I came to, only thing that I can remember saying was, get his gun, get his gun. Now, that had a lot to do with my growing up and my upcoming. Because I was able to defend myself. I was able to take his gun. I was able to even kill him. Now, was I proud of it? I ain't proud of it right now today. Because it was a horrible saying, because I had to take another man's life. And really, I took his life because he was pinned in the back of a building. But me changing my life caused me to still be where I was probably, I could have said, I don't know what I could have said, but I could have did something a little more different than what I did when I approached him. So it's all was depending on the approach that I guess I gave him when I approached him and asked him, why was he pinned in the back of the building? So the moral to my story is, it was the way that I was brought up that I carry with me every day. That it has me when I'm walking down the street or I see somebody or I see a group of people, it's the way that I approach them. It's the way that now my guards is up even more because of the incident what I had. Now, growing up in the project, I did a lot. I did a couple of cases in the project that I'm not proud of that's in my file. And, you know, I got a little jacket. You know, they give us this little jacket that we carry with us, and it'll be with us for the rest of our life. If y'all ain't got there, believe me, y'all don't want that because you won't be able to get no job. You won't be able to get in school like this. So my story to y'all is y'all in the best place to get what you got to get, to do what you got to do. Because out there in the world where I come from, you can't get it back. You can't turn it around. I don't care how hard you try. You can't turn it around. Ain't nobody going to give it to you. You got to get it. Ain't nobody going to give it to you. I wish I could have got a better hand. I wish I wouldn't have been able to live while I was living because it was the environment that I was living in that made me have to adopt to the way that I was living. Because I was living. Now, some people might say, well, there's a whole lot of people came up in the project and they did good. Their hands probably was dealt a little better than my hand was. My hand wasn't dealt that way. My mother had to try to go out. She had to try to work. That led me to have to go outside. And when you go outside, you want to be able to go outside and play. You don't want to have to go outside and you can't fight. When you growing up, you want to be able to defend yourself. I don't care where you at, how old you is. You still want to be able to defend yourself. If somebody come and they mess with you, you want to be able to defend yourself. So that's how I grew up. So I had to learn how to fight. So when I can't win, next thing is what? I got to get a baseball bat. I got to get it. I can't let them get me. So I got to do the next best thing. So that drove me to do like I am now. So now, my life is, I'm trying to give back. I'm trying to help the next person so they won't have to fall in my footsteps or do like I did. I had, after I met John, my son was, how old was my son, John, when I called you for my son? I think my son about 20-something.
Yeah, early 20s.
Well, my son, he's about, my baby boy, he's about 20, I want to say about 27. He got his first murder when he was about 21. And I had to call John to help me with him with his murder case. Because his murder case proceeded on the way that I lived my life. It didn't have nothing to do with him. He was a good kid. He graduated from high school. He was doing good. So he was working at this neighborhood grocery store. And all because of the lifestyle that I was living, the guys that was in the neighborhood didn't like my son. Not because of my son, but because of the way I had lived my life. So they approached my son. Well, they approached two of my sons. One of them was working in the store. His brother was dropping him off at work. So he went in to do his job, and his brother was still on the outside. Well, it caused the guys to argue with his brother, and once he came back out, they was jumping on his brother. So eventually, they started jumping on both of them. So one of my sons carried a knife. So he took the knife at the age of probably 21, and he got his first murder at the age of 21. Now, through John help and through the people of 26 in California, they seen fit to let my son go because they looked at the video cameras. You know how they got the cameras up now, the street light cameras? They got everything on video. So now, my son is messed up. He can't hold a job. Now, I make this joke to y'all, right? He fights a lot. He angry now. He wasn't like that at first. But now he's angry because they locked him up. And I'm going to tell y'all this one here. The guy he killed was our second cousin. But we didn't know he was our second cousin. Because, you know, how often do you see your family? How often do you see your brother? How often do you call your brother? How often do you call your sister? You have to stay in communication with your family. The reason why I tell you that because we stay in a small community. And we didn't know that that was our second cousin. We didn't find that out till after he was dead. And then we found out that he was hanging with a group of guys over here. And them group of guys that didn't like my son because of what I had been doing and had I been growing up doing what I was doing probably to their fathers and their mothers and their sisters. Because when you out here selling drugs and you out here say you gang banging or whatever you may be doing, it's going to not only affect you, but it's going to affect your brother, it's going to affect your sister, it's going to affect your cousin. Because if you selling drugs to them and they don't pay your money, when you go to jump on them for your money, then their sister mad, their cousin mad. So now they're going to hate you. So during the generation of the family growing up, the whole family going to hate you. And you ain't never did nothing to them. You did it to him. But it was all because he owed you some money. Was it worth it? You asked me 20 years ago. I said, yeah, it was worth it 20 years ago. But today I said it wasn't worth it. Wasn't worth it. Because it just keep going on and on and on. That's how society is now. You look at it now like all the crime and all the carjacking, and we don't have an answer to it. The answer is, now y'all forgive me for this one. They didn't have a plan when they tore down all the projects. They didn't have a plan. They just wanted to get rid of the projects altogether. They were tired of the drug selling. They were tired of the gangs. So when they tore down all them projects, they unleashed the devil. They unleashed the devil. When they tore down all them projects, they tore down all them projects at one time. Where did all them peoples go? Where did they put all them peoples at? The peoples on the streets. All they know how to do is steal, kill, and be murderers because we weren't educated. We weren't in classrooms like this. When we went to school, the teachers, like, okay, say John. He's trying to teach all us. We make a noise in the back. We ain't listen to John. He the teacher. He going to get fed up. He going to say, okay, then he going to let us do what we want to do because he can't win. Y'all want to learn. That's why y'all here. Public school, we might want to have to learn, but did we? No. So we weren't educated. So when he tore down all them buildings, Robert Taylor's, the Dearborn's, Ida B. Wells, Stateway Garden, Cabrini Green, where did he put all them people? Now you look at them people that was in them projects, they was in one area stealing, robbing, and maybe doing some killing. So we all knew, well, y'all all knew, not to go to them certain areas. You know what I'm saying? Like, your mother and your father told you, well, y'all know y'all ain't got no business over there. Don't go over there. That's a bad area. So you knew to stay away from that area. Now, you don't have that area. It's everywhere now because he scattered the people out all over the city. And that's why we got the crimes like we got now. Because the people is scattered out. It's nowhere for them to go. They don't have no centers to bring them in and educate them. The only way they're going to get educated, it's sad to say, when they get locked up. And then they see a change because they're going to say, man, I don't want to be in here. I haven't met a person yet that want to be locked up. I met people that want to get money. I met people that want to get rich. I met people that probably don't even want to work, but they want some money. Because everybody want to live. Everybody want to live comfortable. Everybody want to be everybody's shoes. Everybody want to be everybody's clothes. How they going to do it? They need a job. Some people don't want to work. Some people do want to work. Some people's not going to hire people with felonies. They just not going to do it. Some people don't even want to take a chance. You know how many times I've been turned down, but I keep on fighting. I ain't gonna let the world say I can't do it. I'm gonna do anything and everything that I want to do. But I have to change. I can't change what's inside of me. I can't change what I already done. Only thing I can do is try to correct it so I won't have to do it again. It's like repeating that same pattern. So now, what I done passed down to my son, because he didn't ask for that life, but I was his father. So they gave that life to him when they did what they did to him, but now his mind is so messed up, he can't even hold a job, because he got an attitude problem now. And I talk to him, I try to reach him. But sometimes he unreachable. I can't reach him, and he's my own son. I can't reach him. I love him, but I can't reach him. So I got to let him figure out what he want to do with his life. And it's terrible, because he go out here, let's say my son go out here, and he don't buy none. He don't listen. He hard-headed. His head is hard as a rock. His head harder than mine. Man, that boy head is harder than mine. But I work with him because I love him, and I don't want to see nothing happen to him. I worry more about the people that he's going to run into. I feel more for their life than I do for my son's life, because he going to do whatever he have to do. And that's why I'm afraid of that. I'm going to lose him in the system for 60 to 70 years. I'm afraid of that. He claimed working for the white man. He don't want to do it. That was my fault, because that's how I was. That's all they knew. I was in the house. And in one of my houses, my sons grew up watching me as I did what I did. I didn't have nothing like, I took everything home. I didn't know how to leave the drugs out in the streets. I brought the drugs home. You know, if you got something in your pocket and you go home, you just pull it out your pocket, put it on the table. That was me. So I took everything home. So my sons grew up seeing their daddy doing that. Was it good now? No. But back then I didn't care. I thought I was surviving. I thought I was doing what I had to do to make it. Because where I came from, that's what I saw. I didn't come out a neighborhood where they should have had tore the project down. They should have never built it, to be honest. Because when they built it, they put all us in there, and everybody had to watch the next person. And then everybody started fighting over the little money that they gave us. You know, it's like everybody in the classroom, and they closed this door, and everybody in here got to survive because we all live here. You're going to have somebody that's going to be stronger than the next person. So the weakest person is going to be the one who have to carry out the missions. They're the ones that you're going to send and carry out the mission, because you're going to be intelligent. You're going to know that they're going to lock you up. So what you going to go to jail for? So you're going to pray on the weaker person. You're going to tell them to go do what needs to be done. And you're going to set back. And then that's going to put you in an authority figure. So by you being an authority figure, you're not going to take them chances. Why would you take them chances when you got somebody else going to do it that's weaker than you? So you're going to make them do it. That's how it goes.
Ivory, as long as we're getting sort of digging into your personal history, I thought that after your other son got shot, and you know, you were really angry. I thought that was a huge change in your life. When you sort of can you talk about that a little bit, because that was really
Okay. John helped me with my other son too. Okay. Now, my other son, the oldest one, Santana. You know, he, like I said, he's out there, he's selling drugs and stuff. So it might seem like I'm smiling, but sometimes you got to smile to stop from crying. So my son Santana, these guys had robbed him. And again, it's nothing to do, it had something to do with him because he was out there selling drugs, but the guy that shot him in the back, years before that, I shot his daddy. I shot his daddy here. I shot his daddy here. He turned to run from me. I shot him in the butt. Now he had a gun. He got off 2 shots, but it just didn't hit me. It was like the Western days. He was there and I was here, and we both drew together. And I ended up hitting him before he hit me. But both of us had guns. He could have shot me too, but I was faster than he was. That's how it have you thinking. When you out here and you doing what you're doing, You're not conscious of your life. You don't care about your life. You're just trying to make money. So your life means nothing to you. Your life means nothing to you. My life didn't mean nothing to me. Because if it did, I wouldn't have did what I was doing. But I had shot this guy named Roy White. I had shot him 3 times during the course of the game, baby. Okay. So now our kids growing up. So happened, Roy White went to rob somebody else at another dope spot that they ended up killing. So his son, them living in the project, they don't have their daddy. So his son, them growing up. So now my son, he got little changes on him. He got jewelry on. He walking around selling drugs. So these 3 guys approached my son. My son said, because I asked him, I said, well, what happened? He said, Daddy. He said, I saw him. He said, but Dad, I was smoking that weed. Now, I got to tell you how my son told me. That's the only way you'll be able to understand. He said, Dad, I was walking, and I was smoking that joint, Dad. He said, I seen it when they pulled over. He said, they pulled over in the car. He said, shh. Y'all got to excuse me, okay? But I got to tell how my son told me. He said, Daddy, I was smoking that weed. I was like, shit, fuck them. He said, I was walking. He said, they got out the car. He said, they walked to him. He said, shit, I ain't run. He said, shit, I kept on walking to him, smoking my weed. He said, they walked up, and they said, man, he said, they upped the gun. They said, man, break yourself. He said, man, I looked at them like, really, man? He said, I'm still smoking my weed. I'm like, really? He said, nigga, like, yeah, man, break yourself. He said, oh, man, that what y'all on? Oh, man, that's what y'all on? He said, so he went to take off his change. He said, so one of the guys rested at his pocket. He said, he stopped taking off his chain and knocked his hand down. Now, the guy that I shot, his father, he snatched the gun from the other guy. He said, man, you think we playing with your so-and-so, so-and-so? Man, give us what you got. This is my son. I said, man, that what you on, Roy? My son said he was so, he was high off that weed, it wouldn't let him be afraid. He wasn't afraid. He said he was talking to him like, man, that what you on? Okay, then, because in his mind, he was already planning on his revenge. He was going to let him rob him, but he was planning on going back to get them. He said, when the other guy, whose father I shot, snatched the gun from the other guy to make the other guy, because the other guy, I guess, was scared to go on and complete the mission. That's what I'm going to call it, a mission. He was really scared to complete the mission. He had the gun, and the other guy was reaching for my son. One, my son was taking off his chain. The other guy reached for his pocket to get his money out of his pocket. He knocked his hand down. That's when the other guy snatched the gun and said, I guess he wasn't going to do it. So he said, man, come on, man. Get us that and woo, woo. My son was like, man, shh. He shot my son in the back. Yeah. They ended up getting one change, no money. That's the change he was taking off. No money. So, I was faced with a decision because once they did that to my son, and I got involved, and I brought the gang back involved. And now, can you believe they went to the police, their mothers and their aunties, and there was, I want to just cuss and just tell you, there was chicken shit. Excuse my language, but they were scary as hell. They went to the police and told the police that I was involved and that I was turning the gang members loose on their families. Now, they done shot my son and robbed my son. Now it's time for us to get revenge. I want revenge for them shooting my son. Hell yeah, I want revenge. Hell yeah, somebody got to pay for that. They went to the police and put the police on me. They put the police on me. Do you know how I felt when I couldn't do nothing? I had to let that go. I couldn't even get revenge for my son. That was one of the hurting things I ever felt in my life. I couldn't even help my son. I had to walk away. I couldn't even get revenge. Man, I felt so hurt. I couldn't even help my son. But I tell you this, the guy ended up robbing somebody else during the home invasion. They got him and about 2-3 more other people. They're in jail about 10, 12 years. So they're in jail now. Now my son, he's still on the streets living his life, doing what he's doing. Now to be honest with all y'all, is it over? I don't think so. It ain't gonna never be over. Because we ain't gonna never forget. Now me, I don't know. I'm doing all right now. But I don't know what I might do if I'm presented with that situation again, or if I happen to see him on the streets, because I still carry that anger inside of me of them shooting my son, trying to rob my son. So I'm gonna be honest with y'all today. So if y'all wake up one day and y'all see my face posted all over the news, yeah, this guy did, be like, oh yeah, I remember him. I'm being honest with y'all. I'm telling y'all the truth. So with me telling y'all the truth, this telling y'all to be able to change y'all life. Don't be able to do like I did and mess y'all life up. Do right with y'all life. Appreciate what God gave y'all, because he gave y'all a gift. Everybody don't have this opportunity. Everybody don't have this chance like y'all got. So y'all better appreciate it. Because y'all come over there where I'm at, ain't no telling what y'all gonna be doing. Because y'all gonna have to survive. And don't nobody hold your hand when it's time to survive. You got to make your own way. At training, they said, you got to make your own way. You got to carry your own weight. So y'all doing good. Y'all blessed. Y'all might not think y'all blessed, but y'all blessed to have the parents that y'all have. Because I taught my son in one way of life. That's the life that they living today. Now my daughters, they doing good, but you can't tell them they think they thugs. You know, they think they thugs. They been trying to help their brothers. You know, something happened. Y'all had them events where y'all probably had them neighborhood fights when you help your sister fight and stuff like that. That's how my kids see us. You call them on the phone, oh boy, they right there. They coming. So that's how it is. I don't want to try to bore y'all with this story that I got, but it was messed up for me, but I did something positive with it. I got a job now. I still work for East Lake. Now, is East Lake treat me fair? They ain't treat me fair at all, but I know I got to work. I know I can't go back and sell drugs. I don't want to sell drugs. I don't want that life no more. Too much pain. Too much pain. It wasn't pain for me. It was pain for the people that I had to cause pain on. When you start learning not to hurt nobody else, then you're going to be all right. Me, I'm learning not to hurt nobody else. That's the pain I'm talking about. The pain of having to call the shots. When somebody not doing what they're supposed to do. You know, we got some people out here, they don't want to work, they want to steal. They want to steal and take what you got. Now, you don't work hard for your money, but they want to take your money. They don't want to get out here and work for their money. Them the people, I'm going to put them backs on. Yeah, they need them backs, don't they? So they taking what don't belong to them. And it was my job to be police in the neighborhood. Some people might not agree with me, but that was my job. That's what I did. I don't know. Y'all have to be the judge of that. Once y'all go and do my history and learn a little bit more about me, y'all might understand me more. Some of y'all gonna get it, some of y'all ain't. But if y'all, let me see, how shall I put this? If y'all got some good in y'all, then y'all gonna have to look where I came from and look at the situation where I was put in. And then y'all gonna understand why I did what I did. And then y'all might understand why I'm trying to come back and correct it. Because that's what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to correct it. But will I be able to correct everything? I don't think so. Because like I say, if I be approached with the guy that shot my son, ain't no telling what I might do. So I ain't going to stand there and tell you no lie like I'm going to forget about it. No, I ain't going to never forget about it. And if I ever get the chance, I might have to do what I got to do. Because that's still my son I love. Will I be able to forgive him? I don't think so. Not right now.
Questions? We got 10 minutes left here.
Okay, come on.
When you were trying to leave the game, how long did it take and what did you have to do when you were trying to remove yourself from that situation?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. Right now, if somebody had a problem in the game, they'll still call me. So I really ain't never left. I'm still there. But I do a little mentor. We got Renegade for Life. That was the organization that I was in. I did turn around positive. We started a youth program where I took kids like to the zoo and stuff like that. But they still call me right now today. So I'm really not an active member, but I'm still a role model in the community. It's just like you, when you finish doing what you're doing here, your resume and everything gonna go with you. So if somebody ever needs you for something, they're gonna always call you. And that's mostly like how the games is. You'll never be able to get out the game because society is never going to let you out the game. It's society. It don't have nothing to do with me. I can tell them I'm out of the game 1,000,000 times. They ain't going to buy it. They ain't not going to buy it. Society ain't going to buy it. They got kids.
How do you think it could stop, like, from your family? You think it's gonna keep on, like, happening, like the same story over and over again?
Well, only thing I can answer that for is, far as the shooting, probably the drugs, we probably can stop that. But far as the organization, I don't know if we will be able to ever stop the organization because, say my son right now today, right? He might be, I don't want to say really smoke marijuana, but he smoked marijuana, right? He might come in the house with his hat turned a certain way. His son gonna see him with his hat turned a certain way. So I wouldn't say that necessarily that'll stop, but the drug selling might be able to stop. The gang banging might be able to stop. It all depends on how society presents itself in the future. Just like now, all the carjacking that's going on, that's not gonna last too much longer. They're gonna put a stop to that. You know why they're gonna put a stop to it? Because they're gonna lock up everybody. They think that's gonna stop it. It ain't gonna stop it, it's gonna slow it down. It's gonna slow it down because don't nobody wanna be locked up. Everybody wanna be able to get away. Don't nobody wanna be locked up. I'll give you a good example. You might not believe that my heart went out towards that police that just got killed, but my heart went out to him and his family because he still was human. He still was a man. He still was doing his job. You understand me? But when you look at the man that killed him, now y'all might not understand this, but you be put in a situation where you think of this here. He was trying to get away. He really didn't know. He didn't know what he was really doing because in his mind, he was just trying to get away. He didn't want to go to jail. He was wrong, but he didn't want to go to jail. So he was faced with, if he run and that police up his gun, the police gonna shoot him. So he was faced with, man, I got to shoot him. Right now he's suffering because he know he ain't gonna never come home no more. He know he ain't gonna never see the streets no more. His family gonna suffer behind that, just like the police family suffered. My heart went out to that police family. But when you look at the situation of what he was put in, because he was running, he was trying to get away. For whatever reason, what he was doing, he was wrong for what he was doing. But in his mind, he was trying to get away. He wasn't trying to kill him. He was trying to get away. But in the process of getting away, it forced him to kill that man, to take that man's life. Was he right? He wasn't right at all. And he's going to pay the price for it. We all know that, right? But when you being put in his shoes and you look, see, we don't put ourselves in the next person's shoes. So you'll never know what the next person's thinking. You'll never know what he's going through. Right now, we can be going through something with our family members. The next person never know what you're going through. That's just like the young man that just shot all them students at school. He might have been reaching out for help, but there wasn't no programs to help him. He couldn't go to nobody and talk to nobody. There wasn't no counselor there for him. If somebody would have reached out to try to find out what's going on with him and what's going on with his life, how many times do you ask the person that's sitting right next to you, is everything all right? You'll see them every day. You'll speak to them, but that's it. Once you see them and you speak to them, y'all going on y'all own way. Everybody going on their own way. Everybody minding their own business. Ain't nobody interacting with nobody, trying to find out, well, is you okay? Is your mom okay? Is your brother okay? Is your sister okay? Society is built like that. Don't nobody care about nobody. Till something happens, then everybody cry. Oh, we sorry. Nobody want to help. You see everybody every day. How often do y'all go by each other's house? How often do y'all know how his father is, how his mother is, how his brother is? Y'all don't know the next person. His mother could have just passed. Don't nobody know because don't nobody ask. We don't be concerned about the next person or how he feels until something happens. And then that's when everybody said, oh, it was wrong, but you never know what he was going through. You could have just helped. You could have gave some encouraging words, but we don't do that. Because society has us like, I'm minding my own business. I ain't getting to that. You know, like most other people say, well, women don't do nothing but gossip. I ain't going to get around them because all they do is keep up stuff. But sometimes that don't even be the case. Only thing you got to do is ask how a person doing. So I don't know. I really don't.
What keeps you motivated to stay on track, to keep your life in a positive way?
I'm going to be honest with you, I got to. I don't want to go back. I'm going to be honest with you. I do not want to go back in that place unless I have to, unless I'm forced to. So I have to do right. Because ain't nobody going to do right for me. I have to do right myself. Now I got to take me everywhere I go. So I have to make better decisions than what I did 20 years ago. Because I ain't getting no younger. I'm going to be up there with John pretty soon. See, I ain't getting no younger. So I can't make them same foolish decisions. You know, right now, what I would love, I would like to take my money. I would like to get me a food truck and a big barbecue pit. And I would like to go out and I would like to barbecue food. And I would like to, you know, like sell food and pass out food and try to, you know, do better than what I did. In other words, help and feed some people. Like if some people's hungry, feed them. That's the only thing I can do for them. I can't do nothing else for them. I refuse, like sometimes, now it's funny. Sometimes I don't even give people change on the streets. In my mind, they're not gonna take my money and go buy no drugs or no beer. You be seeing them people on the streets calling with them signs, they be talking about I'm homeless and I need some change, and then you look up and see them in the liquor store. You be like, what the hell going on? That's right. So who am I to judge? I just keep going. So that's really my motivation, man. I don't want to go back where I was. I don't.
I just want to say that I admire you a lot for, you know, given the card that you were dealt, you were able to, like, you grew up in this lifestyle and you had all these things, all these forces against you, and now you're trying to get, like, your life together, and, like, I know that it's hard, and so, like, I don't know, I really, like, appreciate you, because, like, I know, I can, like, kind of understand, like, how hard it is, and, like, how hard it is to, like, get out of the system, or, like, get out of this, like, type of situation when, like, literally everybody is trying to, like, bring you down. So
I appreciate that. I appreciate it because it is hard. It's hard every day. I fight every day. Right now, I see two psychiatrists right now today. I see two psychiatrists right now today. And they good because they let me come in and they let me talk. See, that's what we missing too. So when y'all make it to be wherever y'all live, try to set up some type of program where the people can come in and talk. We got a program over here at 120 South Campbell where we was trying to get this boxing ring. The boxing ring would have came in good, but we didn't have enough funding. And maybe y'all come out maybe this year to we give an event every year in Rockwell Gardens, and what it is called a Rockwell reunion. And every year, everybody come back to the neighborhood. And everybody talk about what they done did. But we need some programs, so we're gonna need y'all to we're gonna need y'all to step it up. So y'all can pass bills, y'all can be aldermen or whatever y'all hard desire. I don't know what y'all wanna do. I have no idea what y'all wanna do, but whatever it is, we need y'all help. Society needs y'all help. Because if y'all don't make it, it's gonna keep on going like it is. So we need y'all.
So do you think that people will get involved with that type of activity because of the pressure, or the label that is given by society, or is it just like surviving?
Well, I hope that we can look at each other and try to figure out, not necessarily walk in each other's shoes, but we can try to figure out what led to that. If you can figure out what led that person to that, then you can kind of like help that situation. So, okay, like example, like I said about the guy that killed all the students at school, and we can figure out what led him up to that point. Where did we fail him at? Because I failed him too, because like I say, I'm out here selling drugs and I'm out here gang banging, so I really wasn't a good role model for him. Now, he 100 miles away, had nothing to do with me. But I feel responsible because I failed because I should have been doing something like what y'all doing. That's what I should have been doing. But I guess it wasn't for me to do that. It's for me to do what I'm doing now.
Ivory, I think one thing, sort of we're at the end here, one thing you don't give yourself enough credit for is that when Santana was shot and all that, and that you were raging, and I know you still got anger, and you'll always have anger.
Yes.
But the war didn't happen, did it?
No, it did not.
And
Nope.
why is that?
I couldn't let that war happen because it would have been a lot of people. It would have been a lot of people dead. Honestly. A lot of families would have been hurt. And then I couldn't let that happen too because also they would have lost me too. I would have been gone forever. So I was able to recognize that I couldn't do it. I had a lot of people depending on me to help me, and I had made it so far. People like John, Bobby, and them, they had helped me get so far. So they wanted to see me succeed. So I couldn't let all them down and go back the way that I was. I don't know would y'all understand that, but when you go so far, your parents want so much out of you. It's like, sometimes, can I just act like I'm one of y'all? Sometimes our mom and daddy get on our nerves. They don't understand. But in reality, they do understand. We just have to be open and honest and just talk to them. They understand. You just have to be able to sit down. Sometimes, when it seems like you can't reach your parent, try this. Try cooking something. Try cooking a meal or going out buying a meal. Try having a family day. And say, Mom, you might be mad at me, but I just really think I need to talk to you about something. And try it. Be open with it. Be honest with it. Because at the end, they the ones going to bail you out. They the ones going to be there. Sometimes our friends, they can't be there for us. A lot of times when we did what we did, and I had to go, my friends couldn't be there for me because half of the time they was with me when I done it. So they couldn't show up and help me anyway. So they couldn't be there for you. So sometimes you think that your friend going to be there, your friend not going to be there. Your parents going to be there, your family going to be there. So that's who you have to be honest with. You have to be honest with them. You have to be open with them. And most of all, you have to interact with people. You have to find out what's going on with your neighbors. Like y'all neighbors and y'all friends here, man, y'all got to find out what's going on with each other. Because we don't need another, like, shooting and all that that's going on and the marches, all that's good, but we have to find out what's going on with each other. We have to feel each other. We have to understand each other. That's the only way we're going to be able to make a better society. Everybody going to have to get a chance to know each other. It ain't because of the color of your skin. It ain't got nothing. Look at me and John. Look at me and John. I go to John events. I've been over by John's house. I've been out there with John at, even her. I've been with her. So it ain't the color of your skin, but see, back then, that's what they brainwash you and make you think, that we can't get along because of color. No such a thing. You're going to have bad white people, you're going to have bad black people, you're going to have bad Chinese people. Some people's going to be bad. Some people's going to be good. The thing is, try to find out what made them the way that they are. And if you're able to understand them, then you're able to say, well, okay, I don't want that type of life. I don't want that. Then you're going to want better. You ain't going to get your kids and pull your kids away for your kids not to interact. You're going to be able to understand what you can be able to teach your kids. And that's sometimes that's where I went wrong at, because where I was doing so much, and I really didn't know that my kid was really paying that much attention to me until my kids got up to some age. But then I'm looking at my kids and I'm like, man, you messed up. They're like, Dad, you the one did.
We got to let them go to their next class.
Okay,
So.
all
All right, thank you very much.
I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all.